USB audio. Hello? Ah, did that work? Awesome. Okay, there's like some reverb. Okay, there's still like major lag, but I'm gonna work with it. Hold on, I'm gonna lower the bit rate. Maybe that'll help. Uh, Gosh darn it. Now I can't find the encoder settings. Okay, output settings. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna be super blurry. Okay, okay. Yeah, there's like echo. Turn off the sound. Okay, how about that? Is there still echo? Yeah, I just muted it. It works? Okay, awesome. All right, guys. So, hey, Jackie, how's it going? Awesome. Okay, I don't know how to get mods. Because it'd be nice to have mods. I'm always scared of trolls. That's the only part I don't like about the internet. But we'll see how it goes. This is so weird. There's major lag, but I'm not gonna like deal with it right now. Yeah, hey Kayla. Tim Stanton, thanks everyone. Southern Fish Keeper. Shout outs to everyone. Super excited to do this tuber thing. Yeah, I'm kind of scared. I'm really nervous. I don't understand how my job is public speaking, but I'm scared to do it on YouTube. Okay, I don't know how to get mods. Do I click on people? Eh. Nice, Andrew. I'm the reason you got into killifish. That's so cool. I'm still like I have a bunch of eggs that I need to hatch this weekend. I'm a couple days late on that. Okay, so let's go. I wanted to do the tuber challenge. Thank you, Dwayne Kitchell, and oh gosh, I have all my notes. Kyle's Wild World for nominating me. I'm super excited to do these. I have all of my notes. So let me just make sure that I have the tag. I'm going to try and keep up with all the comments. This is supposed to be more of like a conversation. That's kind of like why I wanted to do this. I don't want to play favorites with a favorite tuber. I like watch so many channels. So, aw, thanks, Raphael. Okay, so let's see. Yeah, all right. Oh, frozen? Uh-oh. Yeah, try refreshing. Is everyone else going? Okay, it's good here for Kayla. All right. So I got all my notes because there's so many questions. Gosh, this is like super, complicated actually. So if anyone wants to ask questions, keep the conversation going on all these things, it'll be really fun. Okay. Dylan, would you recommend a place to buy killifish online? Um, I I will always recommend a good fish club in your area. Like I'm really grateful that I have the San Francisco Bay Area Aquarium Society here. And we, thanks, Kayla. We always, we trade tons of fish in our auctions and we really support each other. But I recently got some killifish eggs from Aquabid, which was super fun. And yeah, I'm really excited. I got some Shostedai Loey, and yeah, they came in the mail super well packaged. Hopefully, they're all fertile, even though apparently it's kind of a low fertile species. So I'm gonna I need to wet them this Saturday. Tomorrow, actually. Wait, blocked by channel blacklist. Sorry, the ultimate. I don't know why. Hold on. Gosh, I'm sorry. I'm not sure how to unblock you right now. Uh, I'll work on that. I'm so sorry. You probably can't. Oh no. Why are these people getting blocked? I have no idea. There are a couple people getting blocked. Oh no. Let me see. Not sure why. Hold on, 1 second. Maybe I'll try that. Okay, let me try that. Okay. I tried to change settings. Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm gonna have to deal with that later. Sorry. Okay. I don't know why it's not. Andrew, the ultimate, can you try posting your comment again? Alright. I don't know why it's blocked. I really don't know how to change the settings. I'll fix it later. Catfish Cave, nice. Thank you. This is all my boyfriend's artwork. He's the one that does all the decorating. Well, I decorate the fish room, but next time I'll do my live stream in the fish room. I needed a power outlet. Okay, let's see. Okay, May, hopefully I'm saying your name right. I'll get to when did I start the hobby and what kind of fish do I keep in the questions. Actually, that is the first question. I'm just going to kind of go over the tuber challenge stuff first, and then I'll open up the conversation to other things. All right, let's get into this. Let's see. So, how did I get into the hobby? So, my mother got me a goldfish whenever I was 4 or 5 years old, and I named him Mr. Orange. It was he died a very tragic death because I think that was the first time that I figured out cause and effect as a child, because I remember I loved this fish. I talked to him every day. And then I walk into the living room and I find my cat. And my cat had water up to his elbows. And then I remember looking into the fish tank. Fish was gone. I remember reading somewhere that cats love to eat fish. And then I just started bawling because I knew where that fish went. And the cat ate the entire fish. I realized, I had no more impermanence of objects. I just remember that I knew that fish was gone and had been eaten. But other than that, we've always had fish. Growing up, I had this room that I used to experiment animals in. Well, not experiment, but I remember setting up tanks in there and doing tons of stuff, and it was super fun. Let's see. Um, let's see. I have to refer to my notes. So I've always kept fish, and then in college I had like 4 or 5 little tanks in my room with bettas. That's when I really started bettas. And then my hobby really exploded when I got to San Francisco. And when I had my own space in my apartment, I started with one tank, and then it grew into another tank. And then came up with this huge, huge idea to start breeding bettas because I did genetics at work. I was a graduate student at UCSF. And then it, I was doing tons of genetics at work, and I decided I want to play with genetics at home. And that's how I started. I made these huge Punnett squares. Maybe I'll try and find it and show it to you guys later. About trying to make a novel fish called a crown tail double tail, which is 2 recessive traits that I wanted to work with. And it took 2 or 3 years. If you guys go to my website, you'll see my entire journey through that. And it was super fun. And that's kind of what started the bug. And I just kept accumulating more and more stuff. I got involved in all of the local aquarium societies. I got into California Betta Society. I went to my first show and I saw my first showfish. And they are beautiful. It's like seeing a pedigreed dog for the first time. And it was just amazing. And I got super pumped and really, really excited. And then I also joined San Francisco Aquarium Society and eventually San Francisco Bay Area Killifish Association. And it was funny. Kept going to their meetings for like 2 years before actually starting killifish. And that's kind of how I got started. Yeah, Jackie's super exciting for shows. Hey, Andrew Lee, your stuff showed up. Okay. I'm just going to stick with my tuber challenge stuff because I really want to get through that. But I'll address that, okay? Although I don't have a lot of experience with fungus in killifish eggs yet. Although I found that if you put the eggs on peat, it really limits the contamination by fungus. So, okay, so I'll get back to it. All right, so my favorite fish, obviously, what do you guys think? Oh, no problem, Andrew. So, I am sure you guys can take a wild guess what my favorite fish are. So, both show and wild bettas, and starting moving from show bettas to wild bettas. That's how I got into killifish because they have really, really similar. They have really, really similar requirements, and I just wanted to diversify, you know. From my show and wild bettas. And then I also got a little bit into U.S. native fish. I encountered them at SF Baca as well. And so I have pygmy sunfish and also Heterandria formosa. So just doing a lot of things. I love fish. I love those fish. I call them my ditch fish because all of my fish kind of originated from tiny puddles. Small, colorful, easy to take care of. So let's see. Least favorite fish. Oh, sorry. Yeah. No. Number 3. Least favorite fish. I really don't like this question because I really appreciate all fish, They all have different, I like to say that fish keepers kind of resemble their fish, in like temperament and personality. I find like a lot of killifish keepers, killifish are kind of shy, some of the species, and then a lot of them keep fish in their closets. So, and then betta people seem to be really, you know, uh, very flamboyant in a way, very outgoing, very fiery, kind of like their fish. Cichlid people are all about the big guys. Um, you know, it's pretty funny. Least favorite, I kind of guess goldfish. I like I like some of them, but it's kind of hypocritical for me because initially why I didn't like goldfish is because they were so mutated from their original carp shape. And but then bettas are too. Like a lot of them don't eat. They do not resemble the wild type bettas, so that's kind of hypocritical of me. And I'm really liking them now, like Solid Gold Aquatics. I love her channel. She's so cool. So that's a tough question. Okay, my favorite filter number 4, sponge and corner filters all the way. Sponge filters are just super easy to maintain. They are a source of infusoria and they do the job well. And I love how you can stick a sponge filter in an established tank and then it seeds it and then you can just pop it into a new tank just like that. You don't have to cycle it whenever you do that. I also love corner filters because you can put whatever you want in there, such as the volcanic rock, and they're really, really similar. Okay, for my puffer fish, because he has a lot of waste, and also because they don't have scales, they're super sensitive to ammonia, nitrate, nitrite buildup. In addition to the sponge filter, I also added a wet dry filter, hang on back, and I find that works really, really well. I filled it with volcanic rock and a sponge mop on the outtake so it's quiet, and really, really works well. Okay. Oh, sorry, Bettina. Yeah, it'll be recorded hopefully. So let's see. Um, okay. Next, favorite lights. I'm really not a planted tank person. I've tried a couple times in the past and I really liked the results that I had. If you look on my website, some of my old grow out tanks, I really, tried to do it. But I found it was like way too much maintenance. So, and now a lot of my fish don't appreciate bright light, especially some of the wild fish. So I don't have a lot of lights on top of my tanks. I tried using LED strip lights. I had this like really elaborate setup planned, and it just failed miserably. Like the biggest failure I've ever had in fish keeping was trying to wire those damn things. So that didn't work. But I still managed to get like one thing in there. So yeah, let's see. Kayla, I am still on Philippines time right now. I basically pulled an all-nighter just waking up at 9:30 today, and then last night I could not go to bed until 3:30 a.m. So I'm just jet lagged really, really bad. I mean, it's a plus 16-hour difference. It's like the worst difference you could get. But let's see. Let's. Oh, yeah. So, despite my extremely low light conditions, I can still keep Java fern, Java moss, Pellia is my favorite. Susvassertang, it's also called, is my absolute favorite plant. And I've started keeping guppy grass too. And my style is to just stuff my tanks with those plants. They grow really well in my conditions, even with the little natural light that comes in. They grow super well, and the fish love hiding in them. So that's how I do it. Let's see. Oh, where are y'all from? If it's like 2:30 at night and 5:30 and all that stuff. Oh, you're in Sweden, Oliver? That's cool. Thank you guys for showing up for my first live stream. You guys are awesome. Okay, Number 6, favorite tank setup. So again, super low tech. Um, I don't have to do a ton of water changes. I over filter things. So I just really like low tech plants. Low tech tanks. Really like the low tech plants. And I never have to deal with algae hardly. The only tank I have to deal with a little bit of algae is one of my pygmy sunfish tanks because there's kind of a bright light over it. But other than that, I've really never had trouble with algae. So my favorite tank setup, sponge filter filled with Java moss, Java fern, Pellia, just, almost to the gills, a little bit of swim space, or I guess 25% swim space. I find that the more hiding places the fish have, the more they stay out. Like they feel really safe. And let's see. Okay. So that's my favorite tank setup. So my dream tank, I don't really have a dream tank. I would have to say my dream setup, though, is all those awesome setups that have automatic water changes. That makes me really, really jealous. I would love to have just racks and racks of automatic water changes. That'd be so cool. And I feel like the fish really appreciate it. They're always super healthy. That would be really, really cool. Okay, let's see. Favorite foods. My favorite foods are griddle worms and white worms. I have a couple videos on how I keep them. I love that griddle worms, you can separate them, and I have a video on that. So you just put them in a container and then you swirl them, and then the larger worms have a heavier, more mass, and so they congregate in the middle. But then the smaller worms, all the smaller worms are on the outside, so that you can preferentially go for the small worms for your fry, your young fry, and the fry, because they're soft, have a really easy time ingesting them. But then you can also pick out the large worms for your larger fish. So I love that about grindle and white worms. And white worms are a great conditioner for the fish that you're going to spawn. You don't want to feed them too much because then your fish get super fat. And when they're obese, they're not the best breeders. But I find whenever I feed my fish white worms for about a week and a half before I spawn them, they just spawn like that. So, okay. My fish actually don't like BBS, baby brine shrimp. And so many killifish keepers rely on BBS. And it's just, I don't know why. They just kind of ignore them. My, tiny fry all go for the BBS, but after a while, maybe they're spoiled on the grindle worms. They just don't go after them at all. I don't know why. So, and then for pellet food, I mainly feed biofish food from Germany, that I brought back from Germany. And there's only one source that I know of in the US called Professional Fish Keepers. And it's great food. I found that the fish, even really, really young fish, love it and they'll go after it. And then it just is super nutritious, and the fish grow really, really well off of it. So I love biofish. I wish that it was distributed more in the US. And then, let's see, for my puffer fish, he's the only one that has really interesting requirements compared to all my other fish. I chopped up, maybe I'll do a video on it eventually. I chopped up tons of mussels, raw shrimp, some clams that I brought back from a farm, things like that. And then I chopped them up very fine, and then I freeze them, and that way I can feed him little bits. I know Kayla, he like looks really, really weird. I really thought he had some kind of eye infection when I first got him. He got like super, he has these super mirror like eyes. One of my friends is just like super creeped out by him. It's pretty funny. Okay, Dreamfish. I already have him, and I just talked about him. My red eye, red belly pufferfish. Um, I want to thank Jeannie for letting me adopt him. He came in on accident with a bunch of Oaxaca puffers. She's the manager of this pretty big fish store down in SoCal, and it was pretty amazing. She just brought him to a show. I was thinking about getting a puffer fish, and then she kept saying that this little guy would be perfect for me, and he really is. He's just adorable. So I already have my dream fish. I guess my other dream fish are successfully breeding licorice gouramis. I think I'm getting better. They're the trickiest fish I've ever tried to raise. I've had very very little success. I'm working on it. So hopefully I can get them to breed. And, I just really want to be a part of the Perisperminus project and really give back to those highly endangered fish. All right, I think I am done. So my nominees, one of them is in the chat. Moon River Bettas. Jackie, we need more betta fish people. We need more betta fish channels. So, nominating you. Let's see. Lup Diesel. I'm not sure if he's been nominated yet. See, all the people I wanted to nominate were already nominated, like Function Built Aquatics and stuff. Anyway, Lup Diesel. I would love to have you guys. Why are you saying no? You got this. Okay, Love Diesel. I never really liked or entertained the thought of keeping shrimp until I started watching your channel. So that would be super, super awesome. And then lastly, Phil Grady. Like his channel on killifish, again, got me super, super excited about getting into killifish. He has some great videos on killifish, and his fish room is amazing. He's been in and out a little bit, commenting here and there, although he hasn't been posting that many videos lately. So I really want him to get into it. I really want him to get back into it. So, all right, I think I am done with my questions. Does anyone have any questions about the questions that I just answered? Okay. Anyone? Yo, Giselle, how you doing? Yeah, sorry, I was trying to focus on my interview questions first because that's why I wanted to start it. Okay, how do I grow Süßwassertang? Honestly, it's the hardiest plant I ever had. I just, even my tubs, like my fry tubs that I keep at the very, very bottom of my rack, somehow Süßwassertang grows in there. I don't know how many, what is it called? PAR? Like, is it PAR? The intensity of light. I have no idea how natural light gets in there because I do not have any I don't have any light down there, and yet Süßwassertang is the only plant that grows. So I don't know, Jackie. Maybe it just like doesn't like a lot of light. Although I have some right next to the window, those grow really, really well. I've heard of some people having trouble with algae getting in there and kind of impeding the growth of, Kayla, Süßwassertang. I think I've heard plant people in my club say it that way. Also known Pellia. Yeah, maybe you have too much light. So, What did the what is this? What did the old Betta say to the young Betta? I've seen better days. That's pretty funny. Okay. Have you kept any other live bear other than Heterandria formosa from Oliver? I have not. Um, I tried guppies once. I think they are beautiful. The most beautiful guppies that I ever saw were in Germany. Whenever I judged the very first International Betta Congress Area 2 convention, international convention there. Oh my goodness. So imagine this gigantic warehouse filled with every kind of fish possible. Tons of clubs, tons of shows, all going on at the same time. And right next to our betta, we had one of the larger corners. Right next to us was a huge guppy show as well. And they are beautiful. These gigantic show guppies. Some of them were like this big. I used to think they'd have a ton of trouble swimming, but they didn't. They were like super cool. And I tried them once. I got some black Moscows from a San Francisco Aquarium Society club, and my other fish didn't like them. I did the novice fish keeper mistake of putting them in with juvenile bettas, and that did not end well. So I had to give them away. And I don't really have tanks to keep them in either. I tried to keep some killifish in with my wild Betta palafina. I thought, Betta palafina are pretty huge. They're pretty calm, gentle. And I thought maybe the killifish would be that way too. But I realized that all my killifish were missing all of their caudal fins at one point. And it was one of the male killifish ripping them up. So, I keep mainly species tanks. And, hey, Boren, how you doing? Boren's a part of the California Betta Society. And, we really should schedule another show. Oh, come on. Would I rather keep goldfish or endlers? I kept endlers for a while. And for a little while, one of my friends gave them to me, like the original black bar endlers from the Steinhardt Aquarium. And over time, I realized that all the males were disappearing. Again, I tried to keep them with bettas. I thought that because they didn't have long flowing fins like fancy guppies, I thought they'd be fine. And they were for a couple of months. And then I realized that one day I didn't have any males. So that did not work. If I had a pond, I would love to keep goldfish. So that's what I'm going to choose. Again, Solid Gold Aquatics has really got me turned on to like those telescope butterfly goldfish that look super cool from the top. So I'd love to keep those, but living in a tiny apartment in San Francisco, not going to happen right now. Okay, let's see. Mackenzie, I've just gotten into breeding betta fish and I've fallen in love with plakat varieties, especially extended red and yellow. Is there a list of breeders anywhere? I would highly recommend joining the International Betta Congress Facebook group. My hair's in my face. I would highly recommend joining that group. Also, if there are any local betta groups that you can get into, that's a good way to find it if you just post that you're looking for that. One of the main breeders of those extended reds, and he's getting into yellows and pineapples, is his name is Sieg Illig. He's super cool, been breeding bettas for years and years and years. And that's where I got my original plakat stock from him. So he doesn't have a ton of bettas for sale, but very occasionally he'll put some for sale. Let's see. How to breed my crown tail betta pair. So Giselle, I would go over to my website. Really, that question just has a ton of info behind it. So I have an entire page devoted to how I spawn bettas from the very beginning to the very end. So that's what I would do. Go to my webpage and you can check it out there. Okay. What's his Facebook page? Are you thinking Sieg Illig? Yeah, just go to the IBC. Just go to the IBC website and you can just tag him in something. Boren. Hopefully we are going to have a meeting soon and also schedule the spring show. Thanks for answering. Well, of course I'm going to answer your questions. We should go to a reptile show. I wish that the one this weekend wasn't so far away. LA. I'm going to make it down there one of these days though. Boren, do you know when the next reptile show in our neck of the woods is? We should totally go together. Like the Sacramento one. Would be awesome. Website URL, it's just ingloriousbettas.com. There you go. Let's see. ibcbettas.com. Okay, anyone have any other questions? He ran away from home. What happened, David's fish tanks? Oh, did he jump out of the tank? So I always saran wrap all of my tanks. I super saran wrap all of my tanks. I just, I eventually want to go to like tap plastics so that, I could get it custom built and super tight fitting lids on all my tanks. I find that it reduces the evaporation so that my fish room stays drier. And all of my fish love to jump, with the exception maybe of the pygmy sunfish and licorice gouramis. All of them jump. Moon River bettas, my ocelota female made it out onto the patio. Jesus. Yeah, those guys are amazing jumpers. I feel like the bigger the wild betta, the better they jump. Although one time my I had that my Shostadai, my Niger Delta male, Fungulopanta, why can't I remember it? Blue Galaris, that's the name. One time I was draining the tank, right, doing a water change, and he kind of freaked out, and at the time he was like this big. So he freaked out, and then he jumped straight into my face. We're talking like a vertical leap of about 2 feet because it was a 16 tall. Just boom, and hit me in the face. And I think that is the only time that I've ever screamed fish keeping. So let's see. Just can't find it. It was in a 56 gallon. Oh, that's kind of an odd size. I've never heard of a 56 gallon. Yeah, Southern Fish Keeper definitely got slapped in the face. Yeah, that was terrible. I'm sure that I've screamed another time fish keeping. I'll just have to think about it. So, yeah. I'm considering, Mackenzie, I am considering going to the Betta Show in Florida next year. Do you know if you will be there? I would love to meet you and ask a ton of questions. Unfortunately, I'm not planning to go to that one, and I'm going to feel super guilty because I went to the International Convention for Area 1 like 3 years in a row, and it was awesome. Maybe 4 years in a row. And then the past 2 years, I haven't, it'll be the second time including this year that I won't be able to go. Florida's just super far away because, I'm in San Francisco, and it's just super far away, and I can't really afford it because I'm taking a lot of student loans. Once I get a stable job, I'm totally planning on it. So, I think that I set it so that you can watch this live stream later. I'm pretty sure I made sure those settings were working. Yeah. Let's see. But yeah, I really wish I could go to Florida. I really miss the international conventions. Okay, when is the next CBS convention? Oh man, I don't want to host it. I've been show chair for like the past 2 or 3 shows. It's so much work. Gotta get speakers, gotta do all the hotel stuff, freaking t shirts. We'll see. Maybe, I know that the first 5 years of teaching are gonna be terrible because, it takes a while to get into the groove. And we'll see. We'll see. I might, I might be tempted into doing it because I think the CBS International Convention was super, super fun. Hey, is EBS, so everyone, that's the Eastern Beta Society. When are they gonna do it? I want to see you guys. Like, Rich, Sieg, all those guys. Okay, you. Okay. Free education. Awesome, Oliver. You're in Sweden, right? Man, I wish I could move to Sweden. I would love to be there. Okay. Sacramento Reptile Show in September. Other shows are small. American Frog Day. Where is that? That'd be super cool. I've been playing, I've been thinking about class pets, right? We've been talking. I would love to have my my ideas right now are another bearded dragon, possibly. So when I got back a couple days ago from the Philippines, I boarded both my bearded dragons, Weldon and Waldo, at East Bay Vivarium, and I am sure that I got that they got the utmost care. But gosh, I got there, and I am never naming another pet Waldo because they came out from the back. She had Weldon on her shoulder, and then all of a sudden, no female bearded dragon. And, I said, "Where's Waldo?" And she had actually died on Christmas Day. And they didn't tell me because they didn't want to like ruin Christmas for me. So yeah, I have an empty beardy cage. So there's my beardy cage. Weldon is fine, thank goodness. But yeah, I don't know. So maybe another bearded dragon in the future. It's gonna take a while to heal. So she had a pre-existing condition. That's why. Several months ago, they found some. Her vet found some abnormalities, in her abdominal area. There are not a lot of diagnostic tools that they can do. They did barium testing, and they really couldn't tell where the masses were. Oh, she died, my female bearded dragon. They really couldn't tell where the masses were. The only things that were available basically was exploratory surgery, and the bill was going to run anywhere between $1,500 to $3,000. And with my financial situation right now, that just was not in the cards. And she was filled with life. She had a great appetite. She lost a little bit of weight and then regained it. And so it was a huge blow when I came back to that. I think she got super stressed at the facility, and that exacerbated her condition, and she just didn't make it. So the only thing I wish is that she died at home. But yeah, thanks guys for all the condolences. I don't know. But anyway, I'm thinking for a class pet, another bearded dragon, corn snake, crested gecko maybe. We'll see. We'll see. So I don't want to miss you, Brett Greggs. Okay. Any tips on keeping bettas to make them not take bite? To make them not bite? Not talk bite? Okay. So I'm guessing like not bite. So there was an interesting paper a while ago that showed that once bettas were isolated, they became extremely aggressive and it was irreversible. So bettas, whenever you spawn them and they grow up together and they have that constant interaction with one another, they usually are okay staying together. Of course, you will have some developing aggression with the young males that are growing up, but they usually are fine together. But as soon as they are socially isolated, they get super aggressive. Oh, how to make bettas not tail bite. Tail bite. Okay, sorry, Greg. Or sorry, Brett. Sorry, Brett. Okay, how to make them not tail bite. I think I have not had a lot of experience with long-finned bettas, like the big full half moons. They're beautiful. I've just always been attracted more to placottes. Maybe someone can chime in that is a half moon breeder. Maybe Jackie, if she's still here, because she works with long-finned bettas. I think part of it is boredom that I've heard before. I think part of it's boredom. So maybe if you give him more things to interact with, like more plants, maybe exercising him every day with a mirror, just some flare training to like keep him stimulated, that might work. Oh, sometimes the tank size is too big. So why do you think that is, Jackie? Oh, yeah, by the way, guys, Jackie is Moon River Bettas, so super awesome breeder, gotta say. I really want some of those red patoti. They're patoti, right? They are gorgeous. I want some whenever I have a gigantic fish room. Oh, she's also saying maybe too much flow. Yeah, I think a lot of people, when they first get bettas, they think they want like a big, a lot of filtration. And, they just really don't appreciate a lot of flow. So I can see how that, could really stress them out, and they'll see it like flapping around a lot. All right, hey Cecilia, shout out. Okay, Kayla, so question, my bettas hatched September. It's been years since I spawned and I don't remember when I can sex them. So it took me a while to learn how to sex them. But after a while you develop an eye for it. I think you can start sexing them as early as 2 months if they're fast growing. Most of them start to sex out at 3 months. Sometimes as late as 4 months, honestly. And I've had so many times when I think that I jar females and then they turn male. Like these past 2 or 3 spawns of crown-tail placottes, geez, they all turned male. So at one point I only had 1 male crown-tail placotte, which was really worrying, or 1 female crown-tail placotte after jarring all of them. And it was really worrying me that I could keep the line going. But females start to, they kind of get, what's the word? Well, kind of busty, They start to get the a roundedness, they kind of get round in the front of their body, which is where the eggs are developing. And then the males stay pretty slim. They also flare differently. So males tend to have very aggressive flaring like this, and then females have slightly less aggressive flaring. They can be pretty aggressive, but I find they flare head down a lot. So you can kind of tell both behavior-wise and their body shape. Okay, let me scroll back a little bit. Yeah, no problem, Brett. I hope it works out. Let us know. Okay, Kayla, can tannins in the water solve tail biting? I don't know. I just love having tannins in the water. Some people, it's like, the first question everyone asks me when they walk into my fish room the first time is, why is all your water brown? But I really like it. My fish seem to love it. So let's see. Maybe. I feel like whenever they have the appropriate water conditions, they, they tend to be less stressed. So, let's see. I got JC's Tanks. I got a white worm culture off of eBay. After a week, there's no sign of activity. So white worms can be kind of tricky. It's interesting because the main killer of whiteworms during postal transit is heat, and it's been pretty cold lately. I mean, depends on where you are. I don't know where you are, but let's see. So maybe they died during transit. Whiteworm cultures grow slowly, so I wouldn't give up quite yet. And I would try to keep them around, what temperature do I keep them at? I think I keep them at 55 degrees. That really accelerates their growth. A lot of them will survive at higher temperatures, but at a lower temperature, the cultures tend to grow faster. So maybe try lowering the temperature. Don't overfeed them. Only feed as much food as they consume within within a couple days. Yeah, definitely don't overfeed them. That's the fastest way to crash a culture. The ultimate, have a great day. Thanks for live streaming. Thanks for showing up. Love it. Okay. Oh, that was the ultimate, by the way. Thank you, the ultimate. Steenfot, hello, Bob. Oh my gosh, I'm having so many technical difficulties. Oh no, you started your stream? Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm gonna stop then because I don't want to impede your streaming. And I'm honestly, I want to watch your stream. So I'm gonna try and figure out my settings. So, oh, 56 degrees in your basement, JC. Yeah, just try and just wait it out. Wait it out. Whiteworms are tricky. It took me a while to like perfect my technique. I gotta stop sometime. I gotta eat dinner. And then I'm super jet lagged right now. Okay. I'm answering the last questions because we are listening to you, Bob. I didn't know you could do that. That's cool. Okay, I gotta figure out all these technical things. Okay, hold on. Andrew Lee, last couple of questions, guys. Andrew Lee, so peat moss for killifish eggs. How do you know when they are ready? Is it their eyes when you look at them? Yes. I've been, hanging out with a lot of killifish people, and yeah, I've seen a lot of their setups, and I'm really starting to get into them. So whenever you look into the container that you have the eggs in, it is so bizarre because you can actually see their eyes through the walls of the egg, and you can even see the spine whenever they're almost ready to hatch. And sometimes, if you shine a light at them, they wiggle. It is so bizarre, and I love it. So once you get there, you can probably wet them and get them going. So, and then a couple of other things that you can do is if they're really reluctant to hatch, you can put them in like a little film canister, one of those old black film canisters, kind of hard to find. But you put them in there, you breathe a lot into it, like put a bunch of CO2 in there from your own breath, seal it up, put it in your pocket and walk around. And somehow the heat and the movement and the CO2 forces some of them to hatch. I mean, you do that if they don't hatch normally, but it is pretty cool. So I have a video on how I hatch my eggs. I have the footage, but it was before I started using my iPhone, and so it's just kind of a pain to go into iMovie and do that. But I will put it up. Hello from Norway. Thanks for joining us, Madzi Radzi. Okay. Do you have fruit fly cultures? Not flying ones. Yeah, I really want to get into them. So actually, I'm going to write a grant for working with Drosophila as a model organism in my 9th grade biology class this semester. I don't know if I'm setting myself up for failure because that's like really involved. But, my plan is to have those guys in the classroom that my kids can work with, and then I can take all of the extra flies and feed them to my fish. So that's the plan. And then one of my friends just collected oathicas or eggs of his ghost praying mantises. I think that'd be a really cool classroom pet, and that'd be awesome to feed them fruit flies too. So it is on my to-do list. Okay, let's see. Oh, hold on. I lost the comments. Okay, Pietro Pilati. I breed my bettas now. The fry are 1 year old. Their fins maybe sometimes close, and I do treat them. What could be the cause? So clamped fins, when they close up like that, the few times I've had it happen, it just seems like their water quality is off. So maybe do some testing, do some water changes. And I am a big salt user. I add like a quarter teaspoon of salt to all of my water, regardless of fish. And I just find that it's a really great preventative. So, and I find, if some fish that I've rescued that had clampy fins, they just perk up and their fins really spread out right after I do that. Oh, another time I had fish clamp up like that. I transferred a bunch of Betta burdigala. I used to work with that fish. And I forgot to add the salt. And the next day, everyone had clampy fins. And I was really worried that they had velvet or something. But as soon as I did another water change and added the salt, they were fine. So maybe, I don't know. Okay, love placots, want to breed them. Wasn't sure how many 10-gallon tanks I would need for the fry. They always say bigger is better. So if you can fit in room for like a 20-gallon, 30-gallon grow out tank, that would be really cool. Everyone seems to say that the more space you give your bettas when they're growing out, the faster they grow. So, but really, I've only devoted like 1 or 2 10-gallon tanks to my betta breeding, and then I had a 30-gallon grow out, and that's all I need. Let's see. Does aquarium salt damage plants? Again, I'm not a huge planted tank person, and all the plants that I grow are like super hardy, right? Java fern, Java moss, Pellia, a little bit of guppy grass. That's pretty much all I work with. And I mean, I've heard that Java fern and Java moss can even go into brackish water, which is pretty crazy. So I don't know. All my plants are fine. I am sure that if I had like fancy plants, and maybe one day I'll try it. Like Bob has beautiful plants. Like I've been so like inspired to do planted tanks from Bob's channel. I love seeing all those rainbow fish in a fully planted aquarium. Like the stargrass is amazing. Maybe one of these days, maybe I'll have a cool living room tank one of these days. Hey LR Brats, how are you? Love your channel, love your live streams. I thought it was so cool. I got to jump on your live stream and also Bob's live stream while I was in the Philippines. That was really wild. Oliver, yeah, a lot of questions. Oh my gosh. I want to go to Bob's though. Oh yeah, Lucas and Bob, super awesome with plants. I don't really have a green thumb for, higher order plants, I guess you would say. I've never done CO2, ever, ever, ever. But, one of these days, I'll be up to the challenge. Maybe. Okay, let's see. Lucas, that was cool seeing your footage from your trip. Yeah, I was really surprised how much I was able to do. Oh my gosh, the fish spa was so cool. I wish that it wasn't banned in California, because it was awesome. My feet have never been that soft. What? Hold on, I just got a note from my boyfriend. Dinner, bantai, yes, no. Pumpkin curry, sticky rice, tom kha.
You're not supposed to read it out loud on the air.
Why? It doesn't matter. That doesn't matter.
Hi, everybody.
Hi, cameraman.
Oh, God.
You have your own following on my channel.
Delightful.
Love you.
Love you too.
I would love Bantai.
Okay, I'll make it happen.
Okay. All right. Everyone's saying hi to you.
Hi.
He says hi. Wait, did you say hi or bye?
I said hi.
Okay. Everyone's saying hi. Oh my gosh. I think Kyle said that he looked like Jim Carrey, which was hilarious. Okay, yeah, it is slowing down. Good point, Oliver. So I am going to log off. Wow, you really can just keep going on a live stream. How long have I been going? This is crazy. Yeah, I will do this again soon if I have time. The semester starts on January 3rd, so I just have to lesson plan this weekend. I'm really nervous. And then, it'll be awesome. I'm really excited to start working, but I don't know why I'm not nervous at all teaching undergraduates. I used to teach medical microbiology at University of San Francisco. I have no idea why I was like so cool with that, but now I'm super nervous to work with high schoolers. So we will see. Okay. Okay, last questions. Okay, Aiden, the cichlid man. Ooh, cichlid man. That's another fish I want to work with. Like, what did, oh my gosh, I am blanking. Rachel and DIY Fish Keeper, the king of DIY, they did that whole thing on multifasciatus. I think that's the correct name. Those tiny little shell dwellers. Oh my gosh, I love them. I want to have like a big long tank like Joey does. Okay. Megan Gray, missed it, bummer. Damn report writing on a Friday night. I know, right? Friday night. We are super, whatchamacallit? Super, wow. I should be going out and drinking, guys. I used to do that back in my party days. Not so much anymore. Now we just stay in or do date night on Friday. Okay. Thank you guys for being here. Yeah, it was super fun. I really love live streams. Okay. Megan Gray. Yeah, those shell dwellers are cool. All right. A live stream of my class? Maybe once. Well, maybe. I don't know. I feel like that would be invasion of privacy for my students. I actually have a video of my teaching my undergraduates, like whenever we were analyzing a scientific paper, and they were so cool. Like, I really miss them. Sometimes they still email me, and I love keeping up with all of them. But that's somewhere on my channel. I don't remember where. So, okay, do more live streams. Enjoyed this. Great live stream. Thank you guys. Okay, Bob, I am going to jump over to your channel. Thank you for collaborating. That's super fun. Okay, good night, everyone. I will, hold on. Oh, geez. I will try to do more live streams. I don't know what night would be best. Hold on. Let me ask that. What night would be best for everyone? I definitely do not want to overlap with all the live streams that I watch, like Lucas, Steenfont, Corey. I definitely don't want to overlap with everyone. I don't know. I'll have to think about it. Friday nights. So, okay. Well, I'll think about it. We'll see. Okay. Good night, everyone. Thank you all for coming. And thank you all for bearing with my technical difficulties. And I cannot wait to see all of you again. Okay. Bye now. Good night. Okay. Ooh, I'm getting some responses. Friday night, Thursday night, Saturday. Maybe I'll like skip around for a while and try and figure out what a good time is. Okay, thank you guys. Good night, good night, good night. Okay, I actually don't know how to end the live stream. Okay, good night.